gotta click on up there on
This?
the video. No, down the blue, right? No, next, right there.
Hello.
Hi, Curtis.
Hi.
Now I see us.
Can you see me?
Yes, and I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm.
And the Skype's recording?
No, I couldn't get
Yeah.
it before.
So, how was the fight? It wasn't nothing serious, was it?
It wasn't anything at all, thank goodness.
Oh, good. That's great. that's.
What does your hat say?
I'm
Korean?
turning on my camera here now. It says, can you see it?
Yes. Yep, that's your unit information, right?
Yeah. It's, yeah. Well, you know, it's just our cap, you know, and also I got my jacket too.
I love it. I'm so happy to be connected with you.
Yeah, in person, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is very important. I really, really appreciate your taking the time.
Yeah, I just downloaded the plat and the, what else was that? The plat and the, you know, the monument that you guys have there. For Milton and
Yes.
other guys that was in during the Korean War, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm definitely
Yeah.
glad that you're not on there.
Yeah, really, you know, yeah.
So I have your book. I have your book here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, here's your book.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it might be best if you just start out telling me who you are and where you live, anything you want to share about yourself that would connect you with Milton.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, as you know, my name is Curtis Morrow. That's Curtis, C-U-R-T-I-S, Morrow. Last name is Morrow, M-O-R-R-O-W. And I'm a Korean War veteran. And I joined the service in 1950. Matter of fact, my birthday was the 27th of March. And on April the 6th, I was being sworn in.
Wow.
So, you know, it was anxious to go, you know, just for the adventures and, you know, things like that. You know, just the way young men thought back, you know, back in those days. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know what else to cover on that, you know, that you think I should cover.
No, that's perfect. So, so you went to basic training, and then you were shipped to North Korea. Or
No,
Korea?
not North Korea. In fact, after basic training, I took further training at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. That was a little before the war started. And I went to an engineering school there, which, of all things, booby trapping, you know, engineering for demolition training. And fortunately, as I look back, I didn't finish it. And because the war started, you know, in Korea, it wasn't called a war, it was called a police action.
Mm-hmm.
And so I volunteered to go there. So we felt, in fact, the whole school, just about 2/3 of the school, volunteered because we felt it would be a chance, good chance to, a good way to get overseas, you know, and yeah, cause we wanted adventures, you know. And so we were sent to Korea. I arrived in Korea December the 4th of 1950. That was in the middle of the war. That was shortly after the Chinese had entered the war on, you know, this in support of the North Korea. And that was my first day in. It was like, it was something that you couldn't even imagine, you know. Yeah.
December the 4th, 1950.
Right. And from there, Incheon, we proceeded up north, which was, I joined my outfit, the 24th Infantry Regiment, at Pyongyang, in fact, the capital of North Korea. But the United Nations forces were being pushed, were being pulled back, were being pushed back, in other words, yeah. Yeah, so it was dead in the winter, about 25 to 35 below zero.
Wow.
And at that time, Milton was my squad leader. And
When you arrived.
when I arrived, yeah.
So when
And
you,
so,
do you have any memory of first meeting him? I mean, I know it's a long time ago.
oh yeah, when I first met him, well, you know, he came to pick up the replacements, and then from there, you know, the truck dropped us off at a certain point and took on loaded, you know, GIs that was retreating from the north, and we were probably about a half a mile from the position, from the 24th Infantry position, and so he was one of the people who came to pick us up and guide us to our new unit, which was 24th Infantry Regiment. So, and that was the first time, you know, we met. And then I was assigned to his squad. There were 6 of us in number. And I think it was 3 of us went to the first platoon. And I was assigned, I went to the first platoon. And I was assigned to his squad, which was the first squad of the first platoon.
First squad, first platoon.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was the very first day that you arrived. You met him then.
But the very first day, the first hour, defending, well, it wasn't probably about 3 or 4 hours after. I don't know how long the truck ride, but, you know.
What was he like as a person? What do you remember of him like as a person?
Yeah, he was a likable guy. He wasn't a goof-off type. He was the real serious military type guy. He was the sort of guys that was, what I learned later, that you know, planned to make a career of the military. So he conducted himself in that way, you know. So he was a leader. He was actually a leader that we respect, you know, because you have to gain respect. You know, officers and those in charge has to gain respect of his men, you know, that's following him. And right away, he was, you know, he had our attention, you know. Yeah.
So he was in charge of 6 guys?
Well, a full squad the strength is 12, as I recall. And we had about 8 members. Because, you know, the others had been wounded, because they had retreated. They was in full retreat, the whole unit front. And so, and our unit at the time was put in a blocking position. You know, that's to sort of hold back the North Koreans and Chinese, mostly Chinese back then. And, you know, while the remaining could pull back.
Excuse me.
You know, to be reorganized. And the medical, you know, the ones that needed medical attention. Yeah.
So that was in December when you met him. He was killed in July 17th of 1951.
Right.
So you were together from December 4th through the date that he died.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
And then you remember, you shared with me a little bit of information about you were the point man at that time, and he was the person at the rear of the group?
Yeah, well, you know, the squad, I think we probably had about 10 men in the squad at that time, you know. And so as squad leader, I was assistant squad leader, I guess, in you know, duties wise. So I was point. And so he was actually about 8 to 9 men behind me as we were going up the ridge. You know. So of course everyone was in drill.
Okay.
You know.
Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat.
Yeah.
It's hot here.
Oh, it's hot here. It's about 90s here.
Excuse me. So you had gone in to do something with the Chinese. You said at the time you had been going in to do something with the Chinese, and
No.
come right back out.
No, we was on patrol. We were on patrol. You know, you do patrol maybe 4 or 5 times a week. You know, different units in your outfit. You know, you go on patrol. It's a continuous thing. That's to find out to try to, you know, find out the location of your enemy.
Right.
And once you make contact, then you radio their position back or your position back, and you pull back. So it was just a routine patrol. And usually when you make contact, it's like a firefight. You know, because they don't want you to come too close.
Right.
You know, and usually, in some cases, I understand they let the point man pass if they want to ambush the whole unit. But this was, we were on a squad patrol, which is like 10, 12 men. So, in fact, during that time, I had a sense of, you know, your sixth sense kick in. It's like intuition. So you feel that there's something, you know, out of place. You know, by then I had been on the front for 3 or 4 months then. See, so I actually 5 months. So I was really, what they call a seasoned comeback soldier.
You were experienced.
Yeah, I was into it. That was my complete focus. And so when I sense something unusual, like I feel somebody is there or something, I would fire off a couple of shots. And if they were there, usually they would return fire because they would think that I had discovered them. You get it?
Yes.
So that I did. So when I fired off a couple of shots on that day, there was incoming fire. Now, automatically, everyone knows that that's when you get out of there.
Right.
Especially now if you're on a patrol. But if you're on a mission to take the position, the enemy position, you know, you keep going. If you're on the defensive. So I yelled. Well, I didn't have to yell. When I popped off a couple of shots, the other guys knew. And so, you know, they automatically pulled back to the base of the hill that we were, you know, that we were going up. And
because you were on patrol. You weren't on a mission. You were on patrol.
you're on patrol, yeah.
Okay.
So when I pulled back, after firing a couple of shots, the last I saw of Bailey he was actually, looked like, I don't know, but he was firing his weapon, you know. And I thought he was right behind me because I recall hearing him get out, pull back. All right, let's, you know. And so I just assumed that we left the ridge line at the same time. You know what I mean, ridge line, right? Going up the ridge over here, yeah.
It was a mountain ridge.
Yeah, right, so you want to get off the ridge.
And you were coming down from the mountain ridge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you jump, you know, because you have to roll down a bit because you're going down slope, the slope of the hill, or mountain, whichever way it was. And at the base of the hill is when you organize, you know. And so he wasn't among us. So you get spread out, you get scattered out. And we had to recross a rice paddy in order to pull, you know, probably about 50 yards to the other side, you know. And that's where that was our rallying point. And actually it was there that we really knew our position. So from there we proceeded to our unit. And that's when we discovered that he was missing. You know.
And everyone else was there.
Yeah, everyone else was there. I think we got one wounded. Yeah, we got one wounded. which was, I don't know if it was a very, it wasn't a stateside wound, So that means they pat you up and send you back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you realize that he was missing, and then what happens when if you don't have a person from your unit, what do you do?
Well, you report it missing, one missing in action. We didn't know whether he was killed or what. So you go down as a missing in action.
And what was the last time that you saw him? Did you tell me that you saw him reaching into his shirt?
Yeah, it looked like, but he could have been holding his weapon, firing. Like I'm falling at the same time, right?
Right.
So it was like a split second thing. So it wasn't. It just. Only thing I know, he was in a position where you would be in if you was firing your weapon.
You weren't. You weren't watching him. You just glanced and thought you saw him.
Yeah. Right.
Firing a weapon or doing something on that ridge.
Yeah.
Where was the ridge?
I don't understand the question.
Where was this location where he was?
I have no idea. It was just on a hill.
It's on a hill in South Korea or North Korea?
Oh yeah, that was in South Korea. Yeah.
Okay, because he's listed as missing in North Korea for some reason.
It could have been. It could have been because, see, as a soldier, we knew that there was a 38 parallel.
Right.
But the 38 parallel wasn't as famous as it is after, when they started doing the peace negotiation. That was when the 38 parallel became, fixed in our mind, because that was where the peace negotiation, peace talk was negotiated, right at Tamu, which happened to sit on the 38 parallel. So we were back and forth. We would, on the offense, we would proceed north of the 38, and the Chinese North Korea, mostly Chinese, they would push us back, and then we would push them back. So it was like a push back thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
there wasn't any clear line.
Yeah. So we were in. That was more than likely it was in the north of the 38 parallel. It wasn't, I don't know how far north, but it was, it probably was north. According to my chronological, when I was doing research, it's north. At that time, in July, we were north of the 38.
Which is North Korea then?
Yeah, which is part of North Korea. Yeah.
So you could easily go from the north to the south. There weren't any dividing lines to show you.
It wasn't at the time, we wasn't concerned about, it was just one side pushing the other side back,
Okay.
And the Chinese, they had more manpower than we had.
And do you remember them doing anything in response to the fact that he was missing? Do you remember anything further?
You mean, you mean outside the American?
Yeah, once you reported that he was missing, was there anything else?
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. That's as far as I knew. I never knew anything else. I know there was some patrols sent out the following day to that same area. But I don't know the results of that.
Okay.
Because everything that we learned afterwards was rumors.
Right.
Some guy could say, yeah, I saw a body, and it could have been the body. But usually, your enemies, the Chinese or North Korean, they'll script the body, take what they want.
Right.
Probably not too close, and just push him or leave him there, either push him off the ridgeline somewhere,
Yeah. Because
they have no use for the body. Now, they might have taken the dog tags.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But if they took the dog tag, I imagine they would have turned them over to the Department of Defense.
Maybe now. Now it seems like things are happening, but then they weren't so quick to turn anything over. Are you talking about the Americans may have found something?
No, because the Americans didn't. I don't
Get
know
there.
if The Americans didn't find his remains.
Okay.
It was the enemy that found his remains. So if he had identification on it, yes, they would have taken the identification off of him to pinpoint the location where he was left or buried or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But by no means, but they wouldn't take time to bury him, like a proper burial.
That's what I'm told too. I know that from other cases.
Right. They would just mark the area or make a notation of the area that his remains, So it could be the remains of anyone. And it was, but it didn't have to, it don't have to be him. Only thing, the proof that we have is the dog tags. It's dog tag right there. So that would be the only thing.
So during that shooting, he was the last person in the squad. He was the last person. So he would have been shooting so that some of the other guys could get out of there. And then he would have followed.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing.
That's the idea, to fire off a few shots and get out.
And that's what he was doing, what his job was.
But he didn't move fast enough or whatever, or he got hit before he could, get out. To get out of range of fire.
Now you had written in your book, and I'm going to ask you to read it before we get off of here, but you had written in your book that you feel that he was sort of a hero, saving lives, including your own, on more than one occasion.
Yeah, on one occasion, the first occasion was shortly after I got there. Probably it was in the same month. It was like sub-zero weather. It was like 15 below zero. So, you got to keep moving. If you go to sleep, you'll freeze, So one man would watch and the other would sleep, like maybe 15 minutes or so. Then, you get up and move around. So it was his turn to watch. And my turn to catch a nap if you can, And I just fell in this, automatically you fall into a deep sleep. So he woke me up. I remember him waking me up. He had to shake me. I didn't want to wake up. I wanted to sleep. You've been up for like 48 hours or something. And so he woke me, and that was one time, yeah.
And then,
but in fact, that was like, we done it. We always done it.
You all did that.
Yeah.
You really all did that, so you all saved each other's lives all the time, it sounds like.
Sure, because, that was your only chance of survival, is teamwork and firepower, really. That was the two things. So that's your main focus. You don't think about anything else. You think, sure, you get off time, you might think about your family. And that's, yeah.
But your focus is survival of yourself and your unit.
Yeah, that's it. That's what, all armies, all units.
Ooh, that's my phone ringing. Let me just stop this. Sorry. So, as far as the other time when he saved your life, it was on the mountain, it was on that ridge, and when he was shooting at the enemy so that everybody could get out. You said he's deserving of a medal for that, because really he gave his life in the line of duty.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But, another thing too, that was, when you're on the front line, it's a different thing, But then afterwards, it seemed like, some of the white officers, white period, they were reluctant to give us medals, I guess you're familiar with that. That was during the
Yes.
very segregated time,
I did see that. I saw that one guy was awarded actually right on the battlefield at that time. One from the African American units.
Yeah, that's well, he was his duty, his performance was so just, it was so
Distinguished.
distinguished. Yeah, at the time, you know, and then and that was General MacArthur who awarded him that particular Distinguished Service Cross. You know, I met him later, but and then there was other events. There was one that the first victory in Korea was won by the 24th Infantry Regiment, and that was it's a book on it called Firefight at Yecheon. That's Yechon. I sent you that book, and well, this colonel, he retired as a colonel, but he was lieutenant then. He was with the 77th Combat Engineer. You know, like those guys go out and build bridges and, and things like that, too. So he was in a position where he was, where he happened to hold back a whole squad. I don't know how many. But anyway, he was credited with killing 250 men, North Korea.
And as far as Milton, you feel that Milton is deserving of a medal?
Yes, yeah, he was actually, but I didn't get to that point.
You feel that Milton is deserving of a medal or an award of some sort?
Oh, yeah, at least a Silver Star, yeah.
Because, for what reason?
For that reason alone. For his last mission alone. We all distinguished that, in the squad and platoon. Because everyone in my platoon and squad knew of his deed. So, I don't know, rumors going that he was recommended for it, and I'm quite sure he was recommended by the platoon sergeant and the platoon leader. But that could have been as far as it went. Well, it probably went to battalion. It could have went to division, but somewhere along the line, it get lost. Like, I was recommended for a Bronze Star. And I never knew about it until I had returned to the States. And I had a court. I screwed up a bit, and I was going for a court martial. And that was when I saw the orders that recommended me for a Bronze Star.
And did you receive it?
I never even followed through because I didn't even care about, you don't even care about stuff like that. All you want to do is get out of there.
Yeah, the soldiers don't, but people like us know that you should have it.
Yeah, now, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I sent off for the records when I was writing my book, but that wasn't listed on my Form 214. But then later on, I found that, a lot of records was burned in, I think, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. All my father's records were burned there. And
the court martial took place here in the States. So that's definitely a record of it. Whether it was among those records that was destroyed, there somewhere. There could be, more than likely, it would be with the court martial board. What did they call it? They call it the African.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call, the military, the branch of military that, MPs is associated with, and CID.
Yes.
I think it's Advocate.
So nobody ever followed through with that?
No, because I never even pursued it.
I bet it's at the Library of Congress. They have all the military records there also.
Yeah, I just found that out later. I don't know whether the military, I don't know, because it really wasn't that important. The most important matter to us is the combat infantry badge and my jump ring. The Purple Heart, that's not important. I couldn't deal without that. But like to the average soldier, the CIB badge, afterwards, as you grow older, that's because it's sort of a mark of it's a personal thing, you know, like you
Right.
did it, you know, you earned it. It's
You
like
did earn it.
you don't want to earn a Purple Heart, you know.
No.
And for other medals like the medals of merit, like Bronze Star, Silver Star, Distinguished Service Medal, you know, usually you die. You don't get those while living, you know, because it's an act that you perform that's really not planned, you know, because you take most medal winners, it's something that you just do things at certain times, and then afterwards you reapproach yourself. You say, I must have been out of my bloody mind, you know, to do that. You know, I could have been killed. You know,
Uh-huh.
you done it. You know, it's like that's. I guess that applies to any human being, like rushing in a burning building to
Right.
rescue someone, and then after you say, damn, I don't even know them. You know, and I did that. You know, well. Milton had no plans on dying that day, or being wounded that day, you know, or being a hero that day, you know. He just did what he did. It's just something that you do, you know, you don't think about it. Yeah.
Yes.
But we see afterward, we see, yes, he deserved it. Actually, I would say he deserved definitely a Silver Star.
Can I ask you, do you have the page from your book that you wrote?
I have a copy of the book with me.
Yeah. So the statement that you wrote on, well, first on the forward, it's right on the same section where the contents are.
Mm-hmm.
Right before that, on the page before that, it says it's a dedication.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dedicating the book to Sergeant Milton Bailey.
Oh, in memories of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to get, like, if I can record this, just record you reading that part from your book that you wrote, and
Okay.
reading it with the name Sergeant Milton Bailey.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm looking now here. Now, is that the... Oh, yeah, I see, I got it, yeah. I wish to dedicate this book to Corporal E.T. Bailey, our first squad leader.
Okay, let me stop you for a second. Now, this says Corporal E.T. Bailey, but you had explained to me that you were not able to use the names that were correct.
No, I wasn't pleased. So the book should read, I wish to dedicate this book to Corporal Milton Bailey.
But he was a sergeant.
First squad leader of the 1st Platoon George Company, which is G Company, 24th Infantry Regiment Combat Team. He died a true warrior's death, and his memory will live with us, the survivors.
Okay, now it says on his records that he was a sergeant.
Yeah, he was a sergeant, I guess. Oh, he was put in for sergeant.
So
But I never,
you had changed. You put corporal because you also weren't allowed to use exact personal information, right?
Yeah, I'm just learning about him. I know he was put in for sergeant.
So he is corporal before sergeant?
Yeah, you gotta be, see, the rank goes private PFC, that's private first class, corporal, and then staff sergeant.
Oh, okay.
You know. So he was holding the rank of corporal at his death. Oh, it could have been PFC, I don't know.
Okay,
You know.
so this the only thing that's different in here is it should have said Milton instead of E.T. Can you tell me why it has a different name?
Because of the publishers, you have to get a permission of the who you're writing about. You know, when you're writing memoirs, unless their rank is they have to be an officer above, like a lieutenant up. But with the regular enlisted men, you would have to, like private POCs, corporals, even up to sergeant. You have to get their permission to use their name, either their permission or their family permission. before you can. I had no contact with any of his family, so I couldn't, I couldn't go that far.
What?
I couldn't use his full name, without getting their permission. So that's why I just used E.T. I don't know where I got it from.
Okay.
Just,
But that whole section